Mr. Sal.
Hello, I'm Nathan.
And I'm Jordan.
Today we have a video in mind for you. It's our love in Jesus, and we try to do our best to remain faithful to God. So, you have anything to say?
No, I mean like together as a couple. Like we're doing it as a couple. So I have some verses to share. Ephesians 4:2-3. With all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
Yeah, I mean, by that verse, I think God wants us to always remain humble. Or try not to be on top of one another, but actually to humble yourself and to know the other position first before acting out of the blue. I know it's pretty easy to get mad at one another, especially in those times where it's not really proper. But at the same time, those times help us getting two things together. You know, it's kind of a teaching from God. You know, we've been seeing all over the world sin and injustice and all those things. And God wants us to be humble and to see that what He's doing for all of us is the fruit of His grace. Yeah, and we got another one. 7 Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for the labor. If either of them fall down. Yep, sorry. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for the labor. If either of them fall down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lay down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? So, I think by that verse we kind of say that when God bound two people together, it's not that one will be on top of the other, as I said earlier, but actually to help out that person. It's just like prayers, you know. Sometimes you don't feel like praying, you don't feel like just worshiping God. But if you have someone next to you that desire praying, that will help you pray as well, even if you don't have any words. So, yeah. Want to read this one?
Oh yeah. Colossians 3:14. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. That's a really good one. I like that one. Because you're not gonna feel like love like when you first started dating all the time. Sometimes you'll feel like kind of annoyed with the person, or maybe sometimes you just don't feel that like love there anymore. But love isn't a feeling. Love is the way that you act around them and things that you do to them. So even if you don't have that like warm fuzzy feeling anymore, loving them is still like taking out the trash and doing the dishes and stuff.
And 8 Ephesians 5:25 said, "For husbands, this means love your wife, just as Christ loved the church. He gave up His life for her." Whew, yeah, that's a really good one. Basically, the way I say it, you need to love your significant other just like Christ loved us. It's been a love without boundaries, a love without without lust or without anger or all those things. You just love with all your heart. Like, even though sometimes I know it's really hard nowadays to feel like you really love someone, at least that person does something for you. But say it this way: God's love us, but what have we done for God? What have we done for Him? I mean, we've been like sinning all the time, and if we look throughout the Bible, all the stories say it like a love story. Now, God is the husband, we're the wives, and we've been cheating on Him, like we've been unfaithful to Him, we deny Him, but yet He come to us and say, "I still love you, come to me." This is interesting. Yeah. So by doing this, I mean, by giving you guys those verses, it's just to explain to us that even though we're not perfect, I mean, I'm not considering her perfect. She's not. She got a big head. No, sorry.
His is bigger. It is.
What?
It is.
How can you say that in front of people?
You said mine was big.
So, like, just love, have fun together. Even though something might not be perfect, keep in your heart that if you decided to be with that person, it's not only because she is pretty, or she is smart, or something, but it's because of what you see inside her. Sorry, I'm talking to her. She's cute, she is. Oh man. Sorry. Yeah, but actually, God has helped us a lot in our relationship. Sometimes in ways that we cannot understand or comprehend. And I just want to give praise to God. Give praise to Him for every single thing. Yep, all praise be to Him. So what do you think? How you see our relationship, lady?
Pretty good. As long as you put God... Excuse me. As long as you put God first and not the other person first. Make sure that you have everybody in the right order. This God, your husband, or your wife after. Because otherwise then you'll run into some problems. Because nobody's perfect.
Yeah, so having God first is always important in a relationship. Even though you might love your significant other, but if you value her more than you value God, there's a problem somewhere, and that might not end up well. Because if you value her more than you value God, I don't even know. That's kind of complicated. That's hard. It's not good. But always might be a wife, a mother, or a girlfriend, or fiance, and all those things. Have God first in your relationship. Always have God bless your relationship. Because without God blessings, it's just like walking in the rain and you have no umbrella. It's be fun when you walk with it. There's water and you just walk through it. And after that you get a cold. But with God, it's like you have your umbrella. You see that fun with the water down there, but at the end of the day you'll be alright. You'll be healthy. So it's like your shield. It's your fortress. So always have God first before everything else. And always pray as much as you can. Doesn't matter where you are. Always just give a thanks to God. Because today you're alive. It's for a reason. You're walking today. It's for a reason. Despite all the chaos that's everything happening around us, you are well. You are healthy. And this is God blessing in your life. Even if you're sick, don't get me wrong. Even if you're sick, God is still working through you. Because God's ways are mysterious. He do things that you and I, in our realm, in our dimension, space and time, we cannot comprehend. But all the blessing is putting in our ways is for the purpose of His kingdom. So, lady, why do you think God has influenced your relationship with me?
How do I think He has? It's actually hang on. Just by bringing him closer to himself actually brings us closer, like, as a couple too. Like, when you get closer to him and I get closer to him, then we can really share that joy and, really share that with each other too.
Yeah, actually, it's really good. I remember when we first started dating. One of her first thing was, let's go to church. I was like, what? No, I mean, I prayed. Don't get me wrong. I prayed, but it was like, I was like a Sunday, like probably like a half Sunday guy. Yeah, she told me let's go to church, and I was really impressed. That touches me like deep into my heart. I was like, oh man. I remember we went to church that Sunday, and I mean, I almost cried. I didn't cry. No. You lost you Titanic.
Hey! Shh. That didn't happen.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, always I've gone first in your relationship. I mean, it's hard to imagine that, like, every thought you have before doing any actions, I've got first. Let God speak to you in your heart, and you will see. Trust God first before even the person you love. I mean, each time we talk, it's always remind each other that God is first. Because without God, we're nothing. Without God, we're just gonna walk in sins in the darkness, and at the end of the day, we'll be the one crying. But with God, you know that you're secure, like you're wearing your seatbelt. So He's protecting you. Oh, look at that lady. You wanna cry?
No.
Uh-huh.
You're no. Like,
why?
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Don't do that.
Like, just put God first in everything you do. And yeah, we're still working through life. It's gonna be ups and downs, that's for sure. But let not expect that everything gonna be pink or gonna be straight. There's always ups and downs in every single relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But even during those moments, you just pray. Never forget to pray. That's really important for your own good and for the good of the kingdom of God. Mm-hmm. None of us want to stay here on earth, when all those things will happen. None of us. We all want to go and stay with Jesus. But the only way we can achieve that is to keep praying, to keep saying thanks to God, glory be to you, praise be to you, all the time, every single time.
Sorry. I'm tired.
No, it's okay. So that was the thing for today. And may God bless and protect you guys. And don't forget to pray for others too.
Mm-hmm.
So have a great week.
Should that be part of it too?
No.